tells to the echo that, hey, this guy at the end, this last quotation mark, is actually not a part of your standard command. You are supposed to print this out only and not interpret it as a command. You should interpret it as a part of this entire string, which is of course a bit tricky because then Echo doesn't quite understand. It's just waiting for you to give him more so it can finish. So if I press enter now, I just get prompted, hey, I need something else. It's expecting something else. It stands to reason to it that you should type something else, and quite frankly, it is quite rational that you should. So I just add another quotation mark, which will match its twin at the beginning. So these two will be beginning and the end, because this one can't be, as it was actually, there is an escape character in front of it and it completely throws it out of the equation. So if I press enter here, there we go. How did you do your test? And then the quotation mark at the end. That's pretty much the only way to print quotation marks and some other things which would generally be considered to be part of the command. Rather, instead, you can use escape characters such as backslash in order to avoid these sort of things. Anyway, that's why we need escape characters. That is why they're very useful, and that is why we use them. We don't only use, I mean, you're gonna use the backslash even though you don't need it for navigation. Rather, instead, you will use it for escaping things such as these, perhaps not in the echo command, but believe me, there will come a time where you will need to process a lot of things with a lot of other programs, and you will need them. Anyway, what I showed you a moment ago is in fact this greater than sign. Greater than sign basically says to the echo, okay, whatever you have, redirect your standard output into, I don't know, into some file here, doesn't matter which one. So just whatever you have, don't put it to standard output because this is standard output when it prints it out to your terminal screen. Don't print it out to the standard output. Rather, instead, please redirect it to my file and put it there. So that's a very nice feature. These things are rather universal. Escape characters, greater than sign. So you are able to, in fact, read not only, this is not network traffic, but you are able to basically steer the traffic within your machine in a way you want it, to function towards a place where you want it to go, and it's fairly simple. There isn't that much complication to it. Now let me just use this echo command in combination with grep command, because that is yet another thing that I wanted to show you, and on top of that we will need a pipe. So look, this is a pipe. This is a piping sign binder between two commands. Is basically saying pipe it through. So whatever you have, whatever you output, so whatever the echo outputs, and this is the output of the echo, please pass it along. This says the pipe. Please pass it along to the command that will stand on this side. And on this side, we will use grep, which basically just pulls something out, grep, and we will say that, I don't know, we want to pull, what shall we pull? I don't know, did you, or just did. And if I press enter, there you go. It has symbolized it completely red. So let's make a file now. Actually, no, we already have a lot of files here that we can, I'm sure we can use at least some of them. What do we got in echo? Cat echo. Excellent. So we have hey, but this is not enough. We should do echo, I don't know, hey there, then the new line character, how are you? I feel random. Amazing, right? no sense of whatsoever, but doesn't really matter. Oops, you need to get lost and go into the echo. It actually didn't recognize the new line characters. Okay, no problems. Let's go and search the man pages for that. Enable interpretation of backslash escapes. Oh, I forgot the E, but it seemed to be able to recognize some of the things. Backspace produce escape form new line. Okay, so I am correct in using this, but there is one thing that I am missing here, which is lowercase e. Okay, need a space here. There you go. So cat echo. There you go. So clear the screen. Cat echo, and if you're wondering what these two spaces are, they were in the original echo. You can see them here. So if I was to delete it here, delete a space here, and delete a space here, press enter and cat echo. Oh no. Why do you have those tabs there? Ah, come on, my good man, come on. What is the deal? I got no idea. Doesn't really matter for the time being. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with the echo command, but that's besides the point. What I wanted to show you is the file itself. So you have this weird looking file with those two spaces in the front. And since you have the file now, imagine that this file was like 400 pages long, and you need to find particular words or particular patterns, or I don't know, you need to find whatever. How do you do that? Well, okay, sure, a lot of text editors will have a find option, and granted, the terminal text editors also have find options. But if you're doing something in your terminal and if you just want to figure out what a certain variable value is, or if you want to format it in a way, you can pull the text out, you can output the text, the standard output, and then you can redirect it to, then you can pass it on to grep actually. And with grep you can take particular lines which you can then in turn pass to yet another program to do something with them. Now, okay, you might think that this is a far-fetched scenario, but no, this is actually quite common. So for example, imagine that you have a program which is scanning for thousands of IP addresses, and that program is gathering information whether the port 80 is open or not. It's looking for web servers. Anyway, that information, you get a lot of information there. I mean, if you're using one of well-known tools like Nmap, you're going to get a lot of information. Aside from the port, you might get, I don't know, some verbose output, how it was done, what's the geo IP location of that particular IP address, like where in the world is it located, and so on and so forth. And let's say you just need a collection of IP addresses which are in the following format. So you have the IP address, you have a confirmation that the port 80 is open, but you don't want to put it in the table. You're just saying, okay, I want the IP address and I want the city in which this IP address is. You would have to use greppable output, and then you would need to pass it along to something else, like into a file or something of a kind, so that it would get sorted in such a fashion. Later on, as we progress, grep will be inevitable. You will see a lot of examples as we use it, because we will simply need it. It's one of the most used commands out there. Anyway, so now that we have this file echo, I just want to show you how can you use grep in order to actually pull lines from it. So here's what grep does. It matches the pattern, it finds it, and if it finds it in a certain line, it will print that entire line out. So it won't just print the word out, it will print the entire line, and it will change the color of that particular pattern which was found in that particular line, so that you know that it's there. Anyway, let's go ahead and say cat echo, and there are countless ways of doing this, and